Hi members of the Cordova Stake, this is President Jensen. I'm making this video to introduce you to a new process that's been instituted by Family Search, and that new process is called Review Names. Review Names is very much related to indexing, and as a stake we want to count it to our indexing goal. And we want to share with you this new process and thought it would be helpful to create a video demonstrating both how to access the system and also how to utilize this system. You can see that I'm already here in the FamilySearch.org website, and on this main page they talk about the 1950 U.S. Census. That census is due to open up this Friday, I believe, Friday, April 1st. And as they open that up, it's going to be done through the process of review names. And so how to get there is you'd come to FamilySearch.org and you would sign in using your church credentials or the username and password that you created here. Once signed in, it will bring you to your regular family history research type of page, and I want to direct your attention to the menu bar across the top. When RootsTech happened in February, they made some changes, including instituting this new process called Review Names, and as they did so, they changed the menu options across the top. You used to see an indexing tab, and as you clicked on indexing, you would be able to go into indexing and work on your batches. That's gone now, and at first that surprised me, and I fumbled around and found out how to get the indexings, but I want to draw your attention to this menu option right here called Get Involved. As you click on Get Involved, there's where I found the indexing, and I clicked on that and was able to do my indexing as I used to do. But I want to direct your attention to this My Opportunities option. So you'll come to Family Search, log in, click on Get Involved, and then click on My Opportunities. And as you do so, a couple of menu options will arise. One is indexing, and it will show you your progress with indexing. You can see that I've indexed already 87 names this year, not a staggering amount. I have a lot of work to do. You can see what I was working on, and it's a suggested batch for me to just go in and do, and so I can click on that and start indexing. The purpose of this video, though, is to show you this new process called Review Names. What the church is doing is it's using computer software, what they call AI software, that's going through documents and electronically scanning them and having the computer do basically the indexing process for us. And as that happens, they want you and I to go in there and literally review the names and say whether the computer has done that correctly or not. And if it hasn't, ideally edit that so that it is done correctly. As the 1950 census is being worked on right now, what's happening, my understanding of what's happening is it's being bred by a computer, and the process that's going to come to us is reviewing those names that the computer has pulled out of the documents, out of the census documents, and verifying whether it was done correctly. Now you can see that I've already practiced in here. I at least gave myself some exposure. I've done 43 names. I've helped one country, which is the United States of America. And I just wanted to say that within that process of doing these 43 names, it did not take me very long. I probably spent 10 minutes maybe and got those 43 names. And so as we come here, we want to click on Get Started. Even if it's your first time, it will say Get Started. And so you'll click on that, and this will open up. Now, this confused me at first because I thought it was actually personal information for myself. And I was very surprised when I came here to grab a state that California wasn't listed. I first thought, oh, the church stopped recognizing California. And then I reminded myself, oh no, President Nelson just came and spoke to us, so they kind of know we're here. And they care about us, so it's not an oversight. These are just places where they have documents that have been reviewed. And you can choose any one of these. If you're interested, you could also, so I'll just choose Massachusetts since it's first. And you could also put your name in. I'll put Jensen. It doesn't have to. It's an optional thing. And we click search. most likely it would tell me it can't find any Jensens, and that's exactly right. So if you're interested in doing your last name, I guess it gives you that option of seeing records like that. But it's saying, hey, can't find it. So even if I didn't put a last name in there, it would go to Massachusetts and it's going to pull up a document, and then I'm going to go through and verify the names. So let's see what comes up here. As we're waiting for the document to come into view, you can see that it's going to have me review 20 names from a document. That's the default. And I'm supposed to look at this and see if the computer has translated that name correctly. Now there's some helps along the way. I want to direct your attention to this little button. I'll put my cursor kind of in the middle here and then come up to this upper right hand cornerish area. And there's handwriting examples that you can leave open. And so everything that I've seen is in cursive. And so you can look at this and say, well, the computer thinks that that's John. And yeah, I could see that being John. So I have some options here of clicking match, edit because I don't think the computer has done it correctly. Or, you know what, I'm not really sure if that's what I'm seeing there. You can make it bigger by coming out here and dragging it out and making it larger. But if I click match, it's going to accept that name. And then it goes to this last name, and that does look like Brownson or Brownson, right? And so I think that's done correctly as well. So I just keep clicking match. Notice that the handwriting thing will stay open as long as I need it. You can always close it, which is nice. So then it's pulling this name right here, and it thinks it's David Chadwick, which I believe is correct as well from what I'm seeing there. And again, you can move this document to the center, and I'm just going to click match again. Each time it's giving me credit for a name. And so as we come here, it's saying that they feel like this is Coral. And so I'm looking at this, and if I ever feel unsure, I can always click this unsure button. So as I do that, it sends it to somebody else to verify. So if I was unsure about that, it's almost like a skip button. And so it's coming to this name, and to me that does look like Chadwick again. And so I'm going to click match. And then Nancy, that definitely looks like Nancy to me. Seth, and yeah, there's Seth Chadwick and Nancy Chadwick. Yeah, I believe that's Seth. And a lot of times you're just clicking this match button. I did run across a few in the ones I was doing earlier in which I had to edit the name. So that definitely comes up. But take a look at this. It put Chadwick. And before, let me just go back a little bit. They had it as Chadwick, and I think that was right. And so if you second guess yourself, you can always go back too. And so I'll re-click that was Chadwick, Nancy, Seth, but I really think that this is Chadwick as well. I'm going to change that H to a K by clicking on the edit button. And so once you have it done right, you click submit, and it chooses that. Then they feel that this is Davis. That certainly looks like Davis to me, so I'm going to click match. Nancy, yes. Nancy Chadwick, yes. And just like that, I've already done 12 names. Pelig, I could see that being Pelig, and so I'm going to click match. And then I'm not sure about this one. It definitely looks like HU, and I'm not sure about that being a J or that fancy L in there, but Halsey could definitely be what's there. But I'm not sure. So I'm going to click on this one, unsure. Roland, definitely looks like a Roland. And we're just going through this document. Brownson again, yes. And what I found is many of the names are the same. Walter, Folger. I would think that, now let me see if I can zoom in on that. That could be, they have it as Faulkner, Susanna G. Susanna G definitely looks good. Walter for sure. That's definitely an F-O and they think that's a T-G-E-R. So I could go to my handwriting, right, and see the different way T's are written. There's one that somewhat matches that T. Other things it could be possibly an S, Fosker. And so if you're unsure, again, it could be that way, or you could click match. And you're just going to go through and continue doing these names. So as I click back, it sends me back to get involved. And look what's happened. I can even stop mid-process, right? We get a phone call or whatever, we get pulled away. You can just stop mid-process, and the computer knows what's been done and what hasn't, and it saves it for the next person. And so you can see that I have up my number up to 59 in just the short time we were together. If I got to the end, it would simply ask me, hey, do you want to do 20 more? Do you want to do 30 more? Do you want to keep going for a while? Or do you want to stop? And you can choose those. Now, the unfortunate part is these 59 names that have been done by me, it's not shared with my ward, and it's not shared to the stake. So unfortunately, we won't be able to see those as a ward and stake just immediately. What we're going to have you do is work with your Temple and Family History leader in your unit and find out how they're going to go about having you report these names, because we definitely want to count them to our indexing goal, or count them towards that indexing goal. So these should be part of our million names. So on a regular basis, we would want to have a reporting structure so that we can share those numbers with you and let you know how we're doing as a stake in getting to that 1 million names index goal. And so that goal is going to consist of what people do on indexing, which we'll see, but also what you do under this review names. And it's just a wonderful way to get started. You can see that there's an app as well. I've heard members of our stake already have told me what a good experience they're having. And one in particular told me that it was fairly easy to do on the app. And you can see what it would look like here. They felt that it was very conducive for the phone. And so I invite you to get the app and just do it when you have time. And that's the church's involvement in calling it Get Involved, right? Or My Opportunities. This is an opportunity to get involved while you have your spare time. So maybe instead of doing some of the things we do when we pull up our phone in order to kill time, that we pull up our phone and spend that spare time that we have, that in-between time, taking the opportunity to review names and get more names out there in index so that individuals can find their family members and information about them. So I appreciate you watching this video. I hope that it's been helpful and instructive towards you. Again, as you log into Family Search, the way to get involved and to do the review names process is to click Get Involved. Go to My Opportunities and get started reviewing names. All right, thank you so much again for watching this video. Take care.